Polk County Knoll in the Knoll Nation. What's good? How you doing on this wonderful Saturday? It is January the 4th, first video of 2020, and we about to do what I do when we do it, the FSU news and notes. We're gonna cook in the kitchen and whip up something a little bit today. I got just a little bit I want to talk about, nothing too long, nothing too serious. We'll start off some of the news with Marvin Wilson and Temorrion both announcing that they will return next season. So obviously, big deal, big retentions for FSU. Glad to see that they Marvin's the head scratcher because, I think a lot of people kind of predicted at the least he's a day 2 guy. I think he's probably a first round guy, but he doesn't go past the second round for sure. So, I guess it shows his dedication to the program, dedication to getting a degree. So, shout out and kudos to Marv for coming back, trying to finish what he started. Temorrion, that is a smart decision by him. For one, this wide receiving class is loaded, and for two, when you watch Temorrion Terry, he's inconsistent, but you see just the elite credentials, right? The elite attributes that he has. Sure up that route running, become more than just a fly guy. Then he can. I think he can really increase his draft stock dramatically. So, 2 big retentions there for Florida State. Shout out to Leroy Butler being a finalist for the Hall of Fame. So, shout out to him. Former FSU player. So, shout out to Leroy Butler. Florida State, the staff has finally been complete with the hiring of running back coach, former Tennessee running back coach, and he coached under Norvell before, but in Memphis, I believe. David Johnson will be your new running back coach here in Tallahassee. Again, like I've been pretty consistent with the most of these hires. I don't pretend to know or go in great depth on who is special teams coordinator of half of these college programs and say whether that's a good hire or not. It'd be a good hire if they succeed. If not, but ultimately what, in my opinion, equates as good hires when you start talking about these position coaches is, can they recruit? One of the reasons why I thought Coach Pimpleton was a terrible hire. Who did he recruit at Florida State at running back? One guy, Anthony Grant. Now, that I'm assuming that's a Pimpleton hire. Pimpleton recruit, and that's when they first took over the job. Their first full year, they couldn't get one running back to commit to the program, and then I guess if you want to call Toafili a Pimpleton commit, then I guess you can. So, yeah, that's one of the reasons why I was not a fan of Pimp. When you look at Jimbo, he had Jay Graham, and you look at the players he was getting from of course, Devontae Freeman, but even guys like Mario Pendo, a lot of people forget about. He just had injury problems and academic problems. They constantly recruited like the best running backs in Florida. That Zaquandre White, Kalen Laybourne, he recruited Cam. He recruited Cook, Dalvin, Jaquez Patrick, who didn't have the greatest college career, but was like the number 1 running back in the nation. Jay Graham continuously recruited the best backs to Florida State. Pimp dropped the ball, so we'll see what David Johnson does as your new running back coach. One more staff hire to mention. Not really a big but a new offensive line grad assistant, Man Ray St. Amour, former starting center for Georgia Southern, that same Georgia Southern team that beat Florida that year. So, good thing there. Norvell has really hired a lot of assistants, so they've given them the budget to work with, obviously. Tate Rodemaker competed in the the Army All-American Bowl today. To be honest with you, I did not watch it. I was too busy watching Florida State hoops. The one time I did decide to flip over, of course, when I flip over, guess who's in that quarterback and guess who's running for his life and throws a pick. He throws the ball off his back foot and throws it up and he throws a book. That's right, Tate Rodemaker, the one play I did watch him play, he threw a pick. I heard that he threw a touchdown pass, but the guy dropped, like someone dropped a touchdown pass from him. So, I don't usually put any stock into those All-Star games. So for what it's worth, Tate did compete though. Telly Lockett. So I had been, I don't want to say reporting because I don't really report things. I just, give my opinion on things and, say what's out there, I guess. So, but I had reported that Telly Lockett, it was rumored that Telly Lockett would be retained. Well, that is not the case. Telly Lockett will not be retained on this FSU staff. Why is that a big deal? Well, is that a deal or no deal? So now we're going to play our game, right? Deal or no deal. Usually on most of these, I find it that usually the common trend is that I say no deal on half of these. Where I want to go with this is I'm sort of in the middle. I don't think it's a deal. I want to overall I say it's no deal because if you win, you win. What's making it sort of a deal, and we'll segue into what I really want to cook on today. Is if you are from Florida, if you grew up in Florida, you know who Uncle Luke is, especially if you're from the Miami area. Mr. Me So Horny himself. But Uncle Luke, who does coach, or I don't know if he's still continuously coaching, but I know he's very tied in with the high school coaches in Dade County. And he claims FSU is blackballed by all high school coaches because Norvell decided he did not want to retain Miami native Telly Lockett. Now, before I get into cooking on it, I had recently stated that I thought it would be a good idea to keep Lockett. However, with that said, you cannot be completely mad at the man because he doesn't want to keep a coach that he doesn't want to keep. Again, even a guy like, so the one player I know that gets very, the one player Telly Lockett gets like all the credit for recruiting was Donta Lucas. I remember listening to Donta Lucas interviews before he signed, and he would always shout out Coach Lockett. I personally would have liked to see him stay. However, I'm not so vastly upset to the point where someone like Uncle Luke is talking about he was blackballing FSU. And now I'm finna get on that. How you gonna talk about blackballing Florida State when Clemson, Alabama, Auburn, Ohio State, LSU, all come into your backyard and it's okay for them to take any recruit they want, but Florida State can't. Miami can't even recruit Dade County like they used to. Alabama and Clemson are killing South Florida. But you got the nerve to want to blackball Florida State because we didn't keep a Telly Lockett. At the end of the day, and none of it matters if you win. You tell me, and I don't know this for a fact, but anybody, feel free to hit me in my comments. Tell me what South Florida Connect Saban has on his staff. What South Florida Connect does Dabo have on his staff? What South Florida Connect does those boys up there in Ohio State have on their staff? What South Florida, we just go down to schools that routinely poach kids out of South Florida. You tell me the South Florida Connect. They don't have South Florida Connect. You know what they have? They win on the field. All that foolishness goes out the window if Norvell's winning on Saturdays. He won't be able to blackball nothing. And I just think it's ridiculous for him to even talk like that and talk about blackballing FSU. You need to blackball Miami. And the fact that they're not going to hire Alonzo Highsmith as their chief of staff. That's what you need to blackball. How do you blow that opportunity if you're UM and you have that guy that wants to come in and help his program with the ties he has in the NFL and in college football, and you're not going to hire him. I'm hearing rumors that he's going to Oregon with Cristobal. That's who Luke needs to blackball. You need to blackball Manny Diaz. Don't worry about what we got going on here in Tallahassee. He didn't want to blackball Manny Diaz when Manny Diaz fired Ron Dugans, who was another Miami native. So I don't know. I just feel like at this point, Luke's just kind of talking out the side of his neck. The reason I bring it up and the reason it's worth having a little mention on it is because he does have the ties in South Florida to make certain things possible. I'm not saying he can completely blackball FSU from South Florida, but he can get in the ear of some of these high school coaches, and some of these high school coaches will listen to him. I'll say a majority of them will listen to him and may make it harder for FSU to have access to some of their players. It's possible. I'm not going to sit here and tell you it's impossible. I just don't like that he's doing it. When look at this whole landscape of college football and just tell me who else is, why Alabama ain't blackballed or why none of these other programs ain't blackballed. But that's really what I wanted to kind of cook on. There aren't a lot of news and notes. Florida, the 18th ranked FSU Hoops played 7th ranked Louisville today. And what was a really entertaining basketball game with the college football season pretty much complete. Only thing really left to go over is recruiting for the next month or so. I would definitely start getting into the hoops season. Florida State looks like they got a good squad this year. They really kind of whooped Louisville. It was a good game, and then Florida State just started pulling away. FSU plays great defense like they usually do under Hamilton, under Leonard Hamilton. That's usually a staple of Leonard Hamilton in Florida State. Is playing a suffocating defense. MJ Walker had 23 points. Trent Forrest had 20 points, and Vassell had 14. Good game. I was entertained by it. Like I said, I was kind of flipping between that. I was really mainly focused on that game, but I flipped a little bit to see the Army All-American game. We only had one player in that game, and that was Rodemaker. The running back out of Georgia, is it Gibbs? I should have wrote his name down. That kid, he's committed to Georgia Tech right now, but I know FSU has done a late move on him. I think David Johnson has some connects with that kid. Hey, watch out. Florida State can pull that dude. That'd be a big get, and that's kind of what we'll be talking about going forward. Other than some basketball, again, 18 FSU beat number 7 Louisville in Louisville, 78-65. It was a great game. So we'll definitely be getting more on the hoops going forward, and for this next month until National Signing Day, we're really gonna be talking about recruiting FSU, who are they targeting, some of the pipe dreams. What are the realistic options, and just how good can this staff close? The staff is complete, guys. So we are here. We're in the home run stretch. It's a new era in Florida State football. The hoop squad looks good this year, man. They look good this year. But they look good They was looking good last year, but they look good. I think you got a really solid team. Come March is gonna make a little bit of noise. Just a quick video on FSU news and notes, man. I didn't really have much to talk about today. Kind of just wanted to get those hot points out there. Really just wanted to cook on Uncle Luke with the foolishness. But you know what? Norvell and if Norvell and the boys do what they're supposed to do, none of that even matters. We gonna go to Miami and get who the hell we want anyway. If you like what you hear, man, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share it. I really appreciate all the followers I've been getting lately. The channel's really steadily growing. Like, that's the great thing, is that the channel's grown at a steady pace, and I appreciate the support. Hey, it's your boy, the Polk County Y'all have a great rest of y'all weekend, man. Go Noles.